Cecilia, congratulations on another great book,
Thank
The
you
Marble
very
Collector. Can you tell me, where did the idea come from?
The idea came from that simple phrase, I've lost my marbles, because that's something that I'm always telling my daughter, I've lost my marbles, and she started throwing it back at me, and it made me think about a short story. So I came up with an idea for a short story called The Woman Who Lost Her Marbles. And as I was developing it in my head, I realised that I wanted it to be a novel. And the more I delved into the marble world, the more I realised that it was a really nice world to put in a novel. So, and then that's where the father developed then, and it became a father-daughter story.
Very good. And did you enjoy writing it from two perspectives? Obviously, there's Sabrina on one hand and Fergus on the other. Was that a challenge for you?
It was a challenge, and I really enjoyed it because his voice is a voice that I haven't really written with before. I think The Gift was the only other book I've written from a male perspective, and this was challenging in a really enjoyable way. It was nice to do something different, and I really enjoyed also not just writing in a male voice, but writing about Dublin in the 50s and 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. What are we now, noughties? Is that what you call it? No, we're not. We're past noughties.
Oh yeah, we are. We're into the
and today. So yeah, it felt really fresh, yeah, and very different.
And did you write them both kind of as you went along, or did you write one and then the other?
No, how it's published is pretty much how I wrote it. I think during the edits I moved a couple of chapters around, but it's how I wrote it. And I just, yeah, I think because they kind of complement each other. At one stage I was really enjoying the father story so much I wondered, could I just write about him? I mean, maybe it could just be about him, but I think that they balance each other out really well, like her quest to find out what his secrets are. And it brings a kind of, I suppose it's like a mystery book in a way, which is quite different for me.
And you touched on the fact that it was a mystery.
Yeah.
Is that a genre that you would like to get more into, or how much fun was that to you to kind of go more towards the mystery than romance?
Yeah, it's really fun. I like writing romance. Not all novels have been romance, but they've all been about love of some sort. So, and this was, I don't think I've done this father-daughter kind of love story before. It's very different. And I love mystery. I think with 100 Names, it was quite a mysterious book about a journalist trying to find these 100 people, and that was, so I've kind of dipped my toe in it. But I love, the book that I've always wanted to write and probably never will write is a murder mystery, because I'm obsessed with, I love like Columbo and Murder, She Wrote, and that kind of old style mystery. Yeah. So if I was ever to do something very different, that would probably be it.
And did you take inspiration from your own family for the characters? Like, I think family's core to this, and I like the relationships between the brothers and everything.
Yeah.
Did you take any, I suppose, was there any real life inspiration behind any of the characters? Or?
I suppose there's always a part of myself that goes into every character, but my mom is one of 11 brothers and sisters, my dad has 5 brothers and sisters, and they would have been definitely of kind of, this is the era and the generation I'm writing about, and they would have been absolutely turfed out in the road, you know, to spend all day there and play, you know, they didn't play marbles, but they would have had their own adventures. So I suppose I'm setting it in that world and imagining the relationships. I mean, it's not their relationships, but trying to imagine how a big family works. I'm kind of really intrigued by large families, and so definitely can draw from personal experience that way. But apart from that, yeah, I did steal a story from my husband actually. He used to be an altar boy, and he stole, he ate 300 pieces of communion while he was an altar boy behind the priest's back. And he got into a lot of trouble for it. So I stole that story just because I loved it so much.
Very good. And there are dark elements to the story. Again, is that enjoyable for you to write? Do you think you would ever kind of go into something that's really gritty, you said, like a mystery, but more maybe crime genre at all?
I love reading crime. Look, I'd never say never, but I think I have my voice, and what's been the similar thread in all of my novels is that they've all been about loss and about trying to bring my characters to a place where they find themselves and they find hope. And I can do that in as many different ways as possible. It doesn't have to be, I mean, that can be done in crime and in mystery. So I'll never limit myself, but but I never really plan it either. I just have to write the idea that comes to my mind. And that doesn't mean that I'll never write a crime. It could happen.
We'll keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah.
And are you working on anything else at the moment? Have you started your next novel?
Yeah, I'm writing, actually last year I wrote my first young adult novel, which is called Flawed. and the sequel to that is called Perfect. And Flawed is going to be out in March of next year, and Perfect will be out 2017. So I'm just finishing Perfect at the moment, and that's been really, really interesting for me because they're very totally different style of book that I've kind of really enjoyed.
Okay, can you tell us anything more about it?
Well, yeah, it's about Flawed is about a country that doesn't tolerate imperfection. So if you make a mistake, you're branded with an F. You have to wear an armband with the F on it, or if you tell a lie, the F is seared on your tongue. If you make a bad decision, it's on your temple. So there's like 5 different places on your body that they brand you, and you have to live in society under very different rules as a flawed person. So it's about a young teenager who makes a mistake and she's trying to be the perfect girl, but she makes a mistake and she has to live life as an imperfect person. Okay. So it's kind of the world we live in anyway.
Sounds interesting. And are there any stories that you've written that you'd really like to revisit?
That I've written that I'd like to revisit?
Any characters at all?
No.
No.
I don't know. I think a lot of people are asking about the P.S. I Love You sequel, and I definitely have an idea there, but I don't know if I want to go there. So that's the thing I have to think about. There's a couple of, I suppose, smaller characters from books that I'd love to develop further and give them their own story. But I don't know. I have so many ideas that I just want to keep doing new stories with new characters, but I guess never say never. Maybe on the 20th anniversary of P.S. I Love You, I should write the sequel.
Thank you very much, Cecilia.
Thanks.